Good evening, unique couples community. How is
Woohoo.
everyone doing today? We are Vito and Linda Patrick, all the way here in Freeport, Grand Bahama, in the Bahamas, and we would like to welcome you to another Unique Couples Sunday Night Live.
It really feels like it's been a long time, but yes, we are here. We have been here and we are enjoying our time. If you have not connected with us in our group, you have to go in there and definitely connect with us in our Unique Couples Marriage Club. And of course, you can also join us in our Facebook group, How to Strengthen Your Marriage. And so if you're
Yes.
watching, subscribe to our Unique Couples YouTube channel and connect with us. Um, yeah, wherever on social media, right? And
Make sure you
yes.
turn on that notification bell so you
Hmm.
can be notified every time we go live here at Unique Couples. So make sure you subscribe to the Unique Couples YouTube channel.
Yes, and some people have been asking about how to reach out and connect with us. So you can go ahead and do that. I think we put the link in the description. You can go ahead and book your free
Yes.
consultation. Go and book your free time with us, and we'll be sure to talk to you about some all things love, marriage, and everything in between. And so we're excited today to have our co-hosts with us. Yes.
Yes, we have Dan and Deborah Smith all the way from Jacksonville, Florida, who is with us today. They are joining us. They are our co-hosts and they take care of Unique Couples Sunday Night Live the first Sunday in every month.
Yes. And so
Hey.
they're here today.
Hello, Dan.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
We're greatly excited to be here. It's been a while.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's like we're doing hot seat for each other today. So we're going to ask some questions and they'll ask us some questions. We're talking about
How
how
to build
to
your best life and marriage.
definitely. And so, Miss Deborah, Coach Deborah is all about building your best life. We'll hear more about that as we talk. And we want you to just focus on doing that as well. So if you're married, you can have their best life and marriage. And those of you who are single, stick on, stay tuned, go and invite your single friends to come on, especially those young men, right?
Wow.
Yes, we have lots to talk about.
Yes.
Yes.
So you want to make sure go ahead and hashtag live squad. For those of you that'll be watching the replay, hashtag replay. Hello, Julie. Nice to have you here with us. So today, like we said, we're going to be talking about how to build your best life and marriage. And you want to have an awesome life. You also want to have an awesome marriage as well. You want
Yeah,
to do both of them at the same time.
yeah.
So you want to make sure you do that.
And even sometimes we need to do it before time because for those of you who are not married, you want to make sure that you are indeed building this life that you are inviting someone else to share with you. So you want to make sure that you take care of you first. So let's hear some more about Dan and Deborah and their story. And yeah, let's talk about how we could build our best life.
Yeah, so Dan and Deborah, just tell our audience a little about yourselves and how did you two build your lives together?
Okay. Well, we met in the 90s, we'll say mid 90s, early 90s. And we were both members of an organization, and and had an opportunity to work together. And Dan was a person of integrity, very pleasant, mannerable, had all those, a lot of people think chivalry is dead, but he was just very manageable. And you would see him, I would see him all everywhere, opening doors for different people, assisting people, whatever. And so we got to be friends. And so we were friends for years before anything else. So I think that is one reason why our relationship has been successful, because we were friends, and I don't think you can just get in a relationship of marriage and not like the person. I mean, you can fall in love, but being together 24/7, building a family and all of that, you gotta like the person as well. So I think a great place to start is being friends.
Yes.
Awesome.
And also, meeting Deborah, she was well, I held the top office, and she held the office on the female side, and she's always organized. That's one thing I loved about her. And we worked together. Uh, we traveled different states together with other members of the organization. And but one thing about it, I guess we brought around into our marriage. We worked together, and it wasn't a 50-50. I hear when you talk about marriage, you say, well, you're going to be 50-50. No. Both of you all are supposed to be in together. I don't want to put a percentage in there. I took the percentage out. No, it ain't 50-50. Oh, we're one. So how can you be 50-50? But we met. I think Deborah went back. We met in the 80s. But we didn't start working together until the 90s. But I knew her back in the 80s. So, yeah, I just, bring that up so she can remember that.
Yeah, so we like to tell our couples, 1 + 1, 100% plus 100% still gives you that 100%. So everyone has to just put in
their 100%.
Yeah, and whether or not your spouse is putting in that 100%, like you go ahead and do that, right?
Right.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so we, formed a relationship, got to know each other, and we married. And at the time, we both had previous relationships. And from Dan's first marriage, he had a son and a daughter. And then I had 2 sons. And, a lot of people wouldn't know that because, people talk about blended families.
Mm-hmm.
We were just family. We never said, this is your stepdad, that's your stepmom, that's your half brother, whatever. It's your brothers and sisters, mom, dad. And that's how we've always gotten along. If I felt like one of them needed something, I was there for them. If I had to be their cheerleader over dad, that's what I did, and vice versa. So it wasn't like two split families and, trying to do some things together. We were just a family, and we still are that way. So I think that is wonderful, because I mean, it's the right definition as far as a step and half and all of this, but I don't like to hear that. To me, once you marry, you're a unit.
So y'all combined without the restrictions of having that definition tied to it. It was just united from the get-go.
Right.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So this year, May, we'll be married 24 years.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we have 4 children, and it's so funny. I'll say the ones I gave birth to on the outside up to the middle. So that's how they range in age, but they range in age from 40. How old is your man? 46 to 31.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have, I'll say 6.5 grandchildren. I call them my heartbeats. So we have 6 heartbeats, and we have 1 on the way that'll be here in July.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're super excited about them. We love them to death. We spoil. Well, I spoil them. I'll put it on me, but yeah, we just love them all. So it's been, it's a marriage, so it has ups and downs. But the one thing we do, we pray together, and we don't go to bed angry with each other. And we talked about early on, if something's going on, you stop and you communicate about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Just can't, well, what's going on? What's wrong? We know each other, so you can tell by expression something's going on. Don't say nothing, talk about it and just, get a resolution from that. So that really, really helps.
All right. So can you tell us what were some challenges you faced? How did you overcome them?
Well, I don't know that it would be a challenge, but I guess when at the time that we married, decided that we were going to get married, my church was going through a change. My pastor had passed away, and we were getting a new one. But we had started attending another church. Dan had joined that church, so it was like, okay, what are we going to do? Or, am I going to join the one that he was attending? I had already joined, or was he going to come over to the church that I had been a member of since 1968? So I guess it wasn't really a challenge, but that was something that, was very, very important.
Yes.
We had to come to a conclusion and be okay with that. And so unless you can think of something else.
Well, no, that's about the only thing. And then one thing about me, if I was in a church with a strong pastor for years, and when he passed, the new pastor, I guess, just we wasn't hitting it off. I mean, wasn't nothing between a relational. It's just getting the word. I wasn't receiving the word like my previous pastor was.
Mm-hmm.
But when I shifted, he was a great pastor. He still is a good pastor. But I started attending that church with a few functions, and then when they bring in the interim pastor, well, new term, but pastor was applying for that position, I went in and I listened to him. And the pastor that's now there, we have a great relationship. And I mean, we just hit it off from the time he got there. And so, but being in that church, I've come from a pew setter. I guess I'm gonna show you another challenge. She used to tell me, we used to go to church, and she say, I'd be holding my head down, looking in the Bible or whatever. She'd wake up, hit me, nudge me. I'm not asleep. So she keeps saying, yep, okay, you keep on. No, I'm gonna move my seat. Well, lo and behold, God moved me. He said, okay, it's time you shift over to being and call you to be a deacon. And I've been a deacon for over 20 years, and currently I am the chairman of the deacon board and treasurer of the church. So a whole lot of responsibilities there.
Awesome.
And, yeah.
All right. Yes. Excellent. Great stuff. How are you helping others build their best lives, Dan and Deborah?
Well, of course, our marriage, I think, is an example. And Dan, he's always worked with, been able to approach young people and talk with them and work with them. And then God gave me a purpose to work with young men. And, our young men, some of them have had challenges at home. Mm-hmm. Some of them get bullied. Some are enticed to join gangs. And if they don't join the gangs, this will happen. Or, I need you to sell drugs. I need you to use drugs, whatever. And we all, for the majority, we hear 90% of the news that we hear about minority young men is negative things. Mm-hmm. But I know that they are just as intelligent. They have the skill set. God has a purpose for their lives as well. But maybe their background or the people that they have now in their lives are not there to be mentors and teach them. If you don't know anything and nobody teaches you, you still don't know.
Yeah.
And you can't do better if you don't know better. Mm-hmm. So for Build Your Best Life, I work with young men ages 15 to 24. And it's to teach them that they can overcome obstacles and build their best lives. So it doesn't matter if they came from a single family home. It doesn't matter if they were on public assistance. It doesn't matter if they made mistakes in their lives. You come to a point and you realize it doesn't have to be that way. I can be a better person. And so in Build Your Best Life, it's all about your actions, your life, and your credibility. So, I had this saying, it takes 1 second to ruin a good reputation, while it takes blood, sweat, tears, and years to build or rebuild one.
Yep.
Mhm.
So in Build Your Best Life, we teach that it's built off a foundation of 5 principles. But before you even get to those principles, something is far more important than that. And that is that you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Love yourself and understand that you are number one in your life. And I think I used this example yesterday when I was on my broadcast, but it's people think, well, I have to take care of this person. I have to take care of that person. I have to do this. I have to do that. Just like Vito, if Vito said, oh, I got to take care of Linda, I got to take care of kids. I can't exercise. I don't have time to take care of my body. I don't have time to do this. Then he's not doing Linda and the kids any, good. So it's just like if you are on a plane and something happened and they say, if you see those oxygen masks come down, place yours on your face first.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you're with someone that needs assistance, help them. But suppose you didn't do that. Suppose I reached over to help Dan first and he's okay. But in the meantime, it's too late and I'm gone because I didn't take care of myself first.
Yeah.
But if I take care of myself first, put my mask on, then I'm okay and I can help him.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's, you need to love yourself. And then the 5 principles, the 5 foundations is your associations, your self-discipline, your goals, your finance, and your mindset. So, doing that and working with our young men, it has been a tremendous overtaking. It was an idea that I had. It's something that I wanted to do. I wasn't sure how to go forth with that, but along with my coach Ricardo Miller, he has really, showed me the path of how to do what I want to do and do it in excellence. And so it's just been tremendous. Because as you know, I was over in the Bahamas in what was that, 2021, for a missions trip. And that was just, like his can't even talk about it. That was such a great opportunity. And I enjoy that so much, being able to visit the churches and the schools and talk to the young people. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's really about, and what I'm trying to do. So I want to do that all over the world.
Yeah. You awesome. Also had a session with I think some students too at a school that I was teaching at during COVID, and that was really great too. And so I was right here flipping and trying to see some of the quotes that I love from your book, right? And I'd always tell you, hey, it's a tool. It's a book not just for young men, but other people could use it as well. And one of the things that you mentioned in this book, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith, and you said while others choose to live in the present, focus on your future. Your team is cheering you on, and that was one of the things that I highlighted. And then this one too, which also relates to not just us as learning, or us as singles, but also us even in our marriages too, is you can never learn enough. Education is a lifelong tool. Continue to learn. It keeps us sharp and alert. Learning doesn't end when we get a diploma, degree, or certificate of completion. And so lots of great nuggets and tips in your book, Build Your Best Life. Talking to our young men, and also talking to the persons who kind of work with them, or even for an individual. And that is good. You have to love yourself. You have to love yourself first. And then of course you need to learn more about the person that you are with too. And so Vito would like to say, get your spouseology degree, like continue learning about your spouse. We say that in Unique Couples Marriage. Continue learning about your spouse, continue doing the things that you need to do on a daily basis. Don't take it for granted. Sometimes we get so lazy in our marriages, because we just take everything for granted, but we must move past that. We must move past that. So,
Right.
yeah. Do you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And one of the things we always tell folks that just like how on your job you go to work Monday to Friday or however your schedule is, and in your marriage, you also have to put that work in as well.
That's
And
right.
you have to put that work in daily in your marriage. Just like on your jobs, you have refresher training courses, certifications. Well, in marriage, you want to attend marriage enrichment seminars. You want to become a part of the Unique Couples Marriage Club. Like Linda say, you want to get your spouseology degree. You want to take your marriage to the next level. You want to see your marriage thrive. So you have to put the work in your marriage. When you were dating, you went out frequently.
Yeah.
You went to all these
Like we
different
did that.
restaurants, and
You talking about us?
you went on all kind of different places. Now after you get married, then you stop dating. You have to
and
you have to
yeah,
continuously
it
date.
happens. Like sometimes you're unaware, and it just kind of like sneaks up on you, and you develop this habit of not doing. And that's something that happened with us. We had a great dating life, making sure we did new activities and did all sorts of things together. And then when we got married, it was like just so comfortable to just, okay, we're home, and that's it. And then some of the new things that we would try to do and do things together and try out new things, especially after the kids came, those kind of like gradually went out the window. And we had to catch ourselves and say, no, like we need us even after the kids are gone. So we have to continue with that relationship. And I know you guys are empty nesters now, because you're talking about grands and stuff. So
Right.
you know a lot about that, right?
Right. Yeah. So it's all interesting. Yep.
And I noticed, by me working out in law enforcement, like I say, there almost 40 years, just shy of 3 months for 40 years. But I ran across a lot of youth, young men, that I talked to, and it bothered me. I guess one of the biggest thing, one of the worst one really bothered me when the young guy told me, he said, hey, they always told me I wasn't no good. I never beat nobody. I never mounted anything. And so I asked him, who told you that? Well, these different teachers told me I wouldn't do anything. I said, well, I'm here to tell you, you can be anything you want to be. Yeah. So, and, talking with them, sharing with them. I coached at church when we had our baseball teams. I coached baseball teams. I had 42 young men with 4 different teams. And, we grew a relationship. Right now, we, just after church today, I was kid one, my baseball team, my third baseman. And we was talking today. I said, yeah, man, I always call you my third baseman. And he's a good kid, Some things happened in his life and his marriage. And I tried to coach him and talk to him. It really bothered him what happened. But I tried to talk to him, and he's coming around. But, you got to talk to these young men. And surprisingly, Deborah picked it up, and she saw it necessary that do this. And I was always wondering when I was working, what can I really do? I had one, like I say, I always tell the story. I had, not a story, but it's a true story. I had one kid that I arrested, and he come back to my office, I said maybe a year afterwards. He actually was asking people, where's Officer Smith? Officer Smith, Officer Smith. Came back and told me, he said, man, I appreciate what you did for me. I know you arrested me. He said, but I'm in college now. I'm gonna make something of myself.
Wow.
So that was one of the things that I said, well, yeah, I'm glad to talk to him. And these young men now at the church, I have some of them that went into law enforcement, never shot a weapon before. I took my time out. I said, hey, you're gonna learn how to shoot. And they was in an academy, and I took them out, and with no problem, they passed. So I like, we always talk now. They say, thank Pop. So I have a lot of them call me Pops. Papa Dan. I got a couple of deacons that I always talk with. And they said, Pops, because I call him my son. The young ones. And I said, okay, son, you need to do so and so, so this and this. And I always let them know. I say, you always learn every day. Learn, keep learning, keep learning. Because after I retired, I took on 2 different businesses, a handyman service and a lawn service. And I was talking to one of the instructors at the, I guess what you call academy school, where they teach maintenance and construction and different like that. Hey, can you give me some young men that can follow me and that I can help train and show them different things, and they get paid. So I'm working with them on that, trying to get young men involved, and let them know that, hey, is there things out there? Because if you really look at it, there's things, businesses that they can do, they can learn, they can go out on their own. Keep them away from these gangs and whatever. You don't have to be popular. And then, well, I guess another thing I like to say, you don't get popular by selling drugs or on the corners or whatever. You get popular, known properly by being involved with your community, with different people. I got these I'm calling my young ladies, which are my senior citizens. They love me. They call me in a minute. I don't try to, knock them off the head. I even do things for free. They call me and say, hey, I got this, and this. So I go by, it takes me 5 minutes. Well, what I owe you? Nothing. Yeah, I got to pay you something. No, you owe me anything. Yeah. It's not, it wasn't, you ask me, you tell me what you got. I go in there, I take your shower head off. You got 2 washers in here. Only thing happened is whoever put the second shower head on, they take one of the washers out. They left the wash in there. So, and then, like that, but hey, I don't, and they always say, hey, Miss Maria, tell him in a minute, this is my handyman. He always comes, he's pleasant. And one thing I like about him, he's always clean. So, it's that thing you like to instill in the young men, which, like I say, I love keeping up with the guys that I coach, and they love when they see me out there. Hey, Coach Dan. And, they have, a lot of them they're grown, married, they have kids. And it's something that within the person, if everybody just help 1 or 2, we can keep off the game.
That
Yes,
is so true.
yes, indeed. And
Yeah.
for those of you that have just tuned in, welcome to Unique Couple Sunday Night Live. Today we are talking about how to build your best life and marriage.
Yeah.
We are here with our co-hosts, Dan and Deborah Smith from Jacksonville, Florida. And like Dan would have mentioned, young men, we want our young men to be positive. We want them to stay away from the negative, because once you have a positive life when you grow up, that positivity that will also transfer into your marriage, because in your marriage you want to be positive as well.
Yep.
In your marriage you want to say nice things, kind things, loving things to your spouse. You want to continue being positive in your marriage. By doing that, you will have your best life and best marriage. And that's what we're talking about here today.
Yeah.
How to build your best life and marriage.
Yeah. And speaking of that, Linda and Vito, tell us a little bit about how you met and, through the years, and then what made you start this wonderful, unique couples, because it is a blessing to married people. So tell us about that.
So you're going to talk about how we met?
So Linda and I, we would have met in church. We actually grew up in church together, and I had my eyes on her. She had her eyes on me. Well, but we
no.
Yes, we grew up in church together, and Linda went off to college. I didn't go. I stayed behind. I worked, and then she finished college, and we connected, and we got married. That's the short version of it.
Yes, and three amazing kids later. We're not empty nesters, so like crossing our fingers, we're not. But we are definitely going to enjoy this time that we have with our kids. And so I think it was like during was it during or actually after, this is our like our 16th year, and we had um experienced this terrible storm. Hurricane Dorian came through Grand Bahama, through Abaco, and things were just socially, financially, just environmentally, like all of the damages that was associated with that, you can imagine. And of course, we knew that families were going to be impacted by this as well, and we wanted to do something. We wanted to bring some hope and encouragement to couples and let them know that, hey, yes, you may be going through this devastation. Things might, tempers might rise and things might, get out of hand, but you could still navigate. You can still stick through this together. And up to that point, 16 years into our marriage, I was, we just had the mindset that, oh, when we're in our 20th year,
yeah, in our 20th year,
yeah, we'll start this officially. We'll do our marriage ministry. We'll, work. But we've been working with couples, but we'll take it and, kind of like do it full out and do it at our 20th year, because now people will take us seriously. And so we held off, and it was, after Hurricane Dorian, we were like, we can't sit on it. People actually died. People lost their lives. Dreams would have been lost. And we sat on it and didn't do anything. It could have been us. Like, our dreams would have gone with us as well. And so that was like a real wake-up call for us to do something. Don't take it for granted. Don't take life for granted. Don't take your dreams and what you're supposed to do and what you're called to do, not to take it for granted. And so we started just with Grand Bahama and trying to, kind of get persons to connect with their spouses and just simple ways. And so we started with that. And then soon after.
Yeah, we had a few events. Yeah. And like after the third event or so, then we had the COVID. Pandemic.
Yeah, so COVID
where the country shut down.
Everything shut down.
Everything shut down all around the world.
So we had to go virtual.
We went virtual.
And so this is that move in there. And so one of the things we, I guess, would encourage couples too. And of course, we know another personal thing for us too was just noticing that, friends and people we would have known who probably got married around the same time with as us, some of them were no longer together. Like we do 1 and 4, and then it was like, maybe, one out of each fourth person that was married was, suddenly like getting divorced. And it was something personal for me, because it felt like, oh my gosh, I felt it like, ooh, why? It just felt like a personal hurt. And I guess that stemmed too from, from me believing and thinking, man, husbands and wives should be together, families should be together. If my parents were together, how that would have been, what type of family life we would have, what the dynamics would have been, how that could have possibly shaped my life differently. So all of those different things. And we just wanted to be where we could help couples create that safe space, create that loving connection, be stronger as individual couples, and then of course impact their marriages and families for the better. And so that's how it started. And it's just continuing. So we're happy to share and to have so many of you in our community. Thanks, Rowena, for joining us, like you're catching us live. Yes, thanks, Sister Ira, always supporting and always there. And Gia, thanks so much. Karen is here. Karen says, very true. Don't take life, people, and relationships for granted. Yes. So that was it. We were excited to share. So it's like, sometimes you hear when you're doing what you love, it's not work, or you don't feel it as well. And So we love doing it. We have met a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
Like it's like our family. Like we've created a whole family, and we have not, did we? It feel like we've met Dan and Deborah already. Like we have not
Yeah,
gotten a
we
chance
haven't
to like physically meet. I
met
know
them
we
in
were
person.
supposed to do a meetup, right? And
Right.
and that's how it's been over the past 3 years, going on
Going on
little 3
going
years,
on 3
right?
years, yeah.
And so
Mhm.
we've met so many people from around the world, different states. The US is, of course, exploding with persons we've met there, but so many different couples around the world. And they have shared and, kind of like blessed us. And in turn, of course, our community as well with the persons who listen. And so that has been amazing, just meeting all of these unique couples, because it's all about the couples. Like everyone has their story, everyone has their things to share. And I don't have to experience like what Dan and Deborah, like you guys did a video with us, a live with us one time about mother in-laws, right? Yeah,
In-laws,
something about
yeah,
in-laws, right?
in-laws,
We talk
in
about in-laws,
in-laws.
mother and
Right.
mother, the in-laws, and some of the things that you would have shared or somebody else would have shared their experience. Like we don't necessarily have to go through that because we're learning from someone else, like the strategies they use.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to encourage people to do as well. You don't have to personally go through something. Like you could learn from someone else. And
Right.
that's a good thing. Yeah.
Because we know that no two couples are the same.
Yeah.
That's right.
All couples are unique in their own way.
Yeah.
And all of us can learn from one another.
Yeah.
That's
So
right.
we
Yeah.
like-
And I love it so much, Linda, that you said, uh, it kind of resonated with you after that storm, that if something had happened, you would have taken that dream, it would have been gone. And that's what so many people, don't realize. God gives us that purpose.
Mhm.
And if he gives us that purpose, of course, he's going to give us the tools. Just look how unique couples is flourishing, all the different unique activities that you do, the people that you've met and got involved is, we sit on those things and, we take them to the grave,
Yeah.
all the books and the plays and all those things that people don't get to experience because we kept them. So, we just thankful that y'all did launch Unique Couples. I've gotten to meet you, and through Unique Couples, like you say, so many different other couples get their perspectives on different things, and y'all carry an array of topics. Nothing is off limits, I'll say. And people are very, very transparent, which really, really helps other people. So it's been fantastic.
Definitely. And then talking about the events, right? So one of the things that we kind of almost got lost in was the making sure like we do those new activities and try new things and experiences together. And we almost got lost in not doing it because we kind of like almost like drifted apart doing everything else, but making sure that we were connecting as a couple. And so very personal and to us is the fact that we encourage couples, whether it has to be inexpensive, you want to go lavish, you want to do something at home, you want to go out, like it doesn't matter. You want to have those creative date nights time where you could connect. And so we've always been promoting and encouraging that in our marriage club. We were doing that virtually every month, making sure we had those things. And so now that we're back open and stuff, we have we're doing this isn't the first one, but for this year, this will be the first. So we're doing our
Unique Couples Rekindle event.
Yes.
For couples on February the 18th.
Yeah. So we're inviting couples to come and join us. Of course, we have it for our How to Strengthen Your Marriage Facebook group and our Unique Couples Marriage Club. You would have learned about that and gotten your tickets because there is, for this one, it's a kind of like a little exclusive event because there's only a limited amount of spots and couples that we could accept for this one. So those of you who haven't gotten your tickets as yet, go ahead, contact us. I think we have a link in the description there. Go ahead and connect with us and get your spot for that event. But That is just, yes, rekindle. Yes, and hashtag us rekindle, and we'll get you the information so that you can definitely get your spot. But that's one of the things we know is a part of building this healthy marriage, building this strong relationship, building this best marriage, right? That's what you're talking about, right?
Yes, best life and marriage.
Best life and marriage. And that's making sure you find time to connect. And date nights is definitely one way in which we can do that. And so, yeah, it's getting a little scary. We definitely have to kind of like wrap up this live because I don't know if you could hear the thunder and lightning.
Was that thunder?
Yes, that was.
Yes, that was thunder and lightning.
Yes. So so those of you who haven't done so already, go ahead and connect with us. Go ahead and connect with us and get your one-on-one session. And we also do a marriage boot camp, so you can go ahead and know that, hey, boom, boom, A, B, C, D, this is what we need to do, and be on your merry way as well. And then, of course, you can join us for our unique couples events that we have. So Deborah and Dan, tell us what you're doing as we wrap up. We thought we could really had a longer time with this conversation, but definitely have to go and check on those kids, especially that young one.
So Dan and Deborah, tell our audience how they can connect with you or reach out to you on social media.
Okay, you can reach out on my website. It's www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. I launch a blog each Monday, so you can go out there and read my blog. You can see the services that I offer, which is coaching, consultation, speaking, webinar speaking, virtual speaking, and you can get a copy of my book, Build Your Best Life. You can get your autographed copy, yes. And in the back, there are activities for you to do to get started. And this book is not only for young men. This book is for everyone. Mothers with sons, single moms, parents, dads, educators, pastors, anyone that wants to do better, overcome those obstacles and build their best lives or assist someone else. Also on my website, you can see the events that I have out there. And we already have our 4 main events for this year scheduled out there. So you can go out there and see who our speakers are. But we have our mothers seminar that starts May the 8th. Our men and boys seminar starts June the 12th. The educational symposium starts July 31st. And Grateful Conference starts November 13th. They all run for 4 days, but they are out there on the website. Then you can see those. Already got the speakers, and I cannot wait. So thank you so much. But we're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I do 3 lives each week. Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you so much.
Yes, and we are loving what you are doing. Just pouring into our young men, because guess what? They are going to be who our daughters marry. They are going to be some of who, so we have husbands. Yes, future husbands. They are going to be, they are the leaders. And so we need to make sure that they are healthy and strong. And then they could come and join our Unique Couples Marriage Club as well, and come in our How to Strengthen Marriage, your marriage group, and come to our events and do all of those things. But we really, really definitely need to make sure that our young people are taken care of. And we just love that you are focusing on our men, because, we have so many things for women, but we also have to take time to strengthen the backbone, and that is our young men. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. So, yes.
Thank y'all so much for having us on. We love it.
Having some takeaway stains. Sister Ira said, staying happily married is a lot of work. Yes, we'll rest in heaven. Yeah, so do the work now, right? Do the work now. Do the work now. Love you all. Love you all. We are going to see you. Join us for our...
I guess the storm hit. All right. We did hear thunder in the background, so I guess that storm did hit there. But on behalf of Unique Couples, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone that sponsors them, which is Hair to Please, the Nail Creation by Anna, Party with Serenity, Style Me Pretty, Build Your Best Life with Deborah D. Smith, Total Grace Solutions with Thaddeus and Amanda Randolph, Candylicious, and K4 Podcasts. And make sure that you join Linda and Vito on all their interactions. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Be blessed. Bye-bye.